I'm Mustafa Manoon. I'm the Vice President Operations for Accor Hotels in Saudi Arabia. I've been in the hospitality industry now more than 20 years. I had been into different leadership roles with international hotel operators, with my key or majority of my experience within the Middle East and Africa region. My major, it's been commercial and operation over those 20 years.
Mashallah, you are the head of a massive operation, mashallah, and we are really looking to learn from someone like you how to achieve the success, but most importantly, how to set a big goal, a goal that business big, money big, mission big, that can serve the community, the Muslim community at large.
Yes.
How can we have that drive, passion, motivation? We really want to hear from you on that.
What I can say that really it's all about hard work, really, resilience, but always have the ambition to do something better every day. I believe a lot in innovation, and for me innovation is not like really to create something out of this world. No, it's how to make things better and to improve every single day. This is really the innovation for me in a very simple way. So yes, it's not, you have to work smart really, and less is more, but it doesn't mean that I have to be like not hard worker. It comes with the hard work. A lot of hours have been given into business, and yes, between the long-term objective and short-term objective, this is also another thing I learned in my life. It's always good to have an aspiration, you know, this is the long term. Either I'm gonna reach or not, it's okay, but at least I have a goal, long term, that I would love one day to achieve. And this goal, I think personally, it shouldn't be fixed. I have to have the flexibility even in my goal. Because sometimes if I would aim to be the chief operating officer of the largest X company in the region, maybe there is other alternative that I don't see it at that time when I set my goal. So it has to be, in my view, very flexible. And then between this long term, I had to set my short term, like moving from A to B to C, and from C to Y, you know. This is very important for of course, the young future leaders to understand. It is good to set your long term, but also you need to put milestones and to be clear on your way as you progress. Learning is very critical to the success, another key element. So hard work, think smart, not all the time hard, ambition, long term and short term, but also learning has to be a lifestyle. Every day I'm trying to learn something new and to reflect on the learning. Self-reflection, in my view, it has been one of a companion all in my journey over the last 25 years. To reflect on myself, self-critique. This is what makes me learn every day and to improve what I'm doing every day. So those are like reflecting on the last 25 years, really this is what I believe could be the success.
So do you read every day, and what do you read every day maybe?
Maybe in the way I learned it, I'm reading a lot about the business, not outside the business. I read a lot of history. I am inspired by history and understanding what's happening around me in the news and the situation, and reflect on that. When it comes to the business, yes, I'm very structured in terms of reading business books in certain times, not every day. I'm not someone reading every day, I have to say. But I'm trying in my holidays to choose a book to read, or an article, business article to read in my frequent holidays. Reading is, and now reading is not a book, right? Now we have so many options to get the knowledge. Like I love those audiobooks.
Yeah.
Help me a lot to understand things while I'm driving to office. So reading is very important because this is part of the learning, I said. But again, when you reach to a senior level in the leadership, learning, especially through books and on the job, is becoming more important, because this is where you learn from what you do every day and people around you. So I'm learning from my team today, what they are doing, what they have been learning. Their feedback to me is very important. I believe very much in coaching, and coaching not from senior to junior, from junior to senior as well.
MashaAllah, amazing. And how do you face the challenges in the business? Sometimes it can have a toll on you mentally every day, managing this amount of people and transactions and everything with it. It can be sometimes really challenging and hard, perhaps, for a man for your position. How do you manage that?
Well, it's a very good question, really, because it's part of my daily job is challenges. This is becoming like part, not something one day yes, one day no. Every day you have a challenge, and challenge really it's an opportunity. First, from a learning perspective, personally, and from a business perspective, by overcoming the challenge, this is success in the business, by the way. Everyone, in my view, every company or a team, when they overcome a challenge, this means they are making a success and a progress. For me, also personally, it's a learning experience to overcome this challenge. With all the uncertainty we live in, that we don't know what would be the challenge tomorrow. The challenge could be economical, could be geopolitical, could be development, could be new demand generator, could be new guest experience or behavior that we are not expecting. In the uncertainty, I strongly believe in two things: decentralization and empowerment. Let's start with the empowerment. As you mentioned, we have large teams operating our hotels every day. I cannot control, and I use the word control, them every day, but I can empower them to make the right decision every day, because they are the making decision, not me. They are in the ground, they are facing guests, they are facing our owners, our investors, and I should empower them to make the right decision and to trust they are making the right decision every day. Decentralization, because again, the best way to manage uncertainty, that people are on the ground, are able to manage those situations on their own, with our guidance, right? So, of course, in our business recently, the most crisis we have faced was the pandemic, for example. Nobody was expecting pandemic would become. And it is the worst hospitality crisis in the history, by the way. In all other crises, there was a reason for people to stay at hotels, except during pandemic. There was no reason for one to stay at a hotel. All hotels were closed, and we have no reason to operate for certain over time.
Do you consider that was the worst challenge that you ever faced?
Yes, I have to say. I'm coming from Egypt, and unfortunately in Egypt I faced many crises in the business, but not like the pandemic. Like pandemic was a global crisis. As I told you, every other crisis, even wars, it makes a reason for guests to stay at hotels. But for pandemic, there was no reason for that.
So what did you do to overcome that?
Okay, so the pandemic was a global crisis. Everyone has a role to play. For me, it was really leadership role. Step up and to give the vision and the hope to the team that we are continuing on the right roadmap. Yes, of course, we have to mobilize our resources. We had to put like a crisis plan, like any other company. But the key difference here, how to communicate this crisis plan to the team on the ground. And how we operate hotels is a bit different than other organizations maybe, because I'm sitting in a corporate office, but I'm looking after or in charge of the operation which is happening at the hotel. So every hotel, you have like 500 or 1,000 employees. They need and they are looking for a direction during this crisis. And this is where my role comes. How to give them this direction and how to give them the comfort that we have the trust in what's going to happen. Yes, we don't know what's going to happen, but we know and we are ready to manage the situation every day. We had those, I remember those calls over the teams, giving the guidance to the hotels what to do, listening to them, because this was very important to listen to the team at that time. Because by listening, they can feel there is someone there for them. And this was very important. So again, between crises, challenges, whatever you call it, it's happening every day. Sometimes it's a big challenge, sometimes it's a small challenge. But with the decentralization and with the empowerment, I think those were key strategies for me to help me to manage every single day.